We stand here today on Sievish land. We acknowledge the wardens who have come before us, the ones that continue to serve in Callahan's army, and the ones who will be coming to serve in Callahan's army. Before dawn, on the 25th of April 1915, the first soldiers of the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps landed on the shores of the Gallipoli Peninsula. The men were part of a British and French-led invasion. The Allies' mission was to destroy Turkish guns that were preventing naval ships from reaching and bombarding the Turkish capital, Constantinople. If they succeeded, Turkey might be forced out of the war, and Germany would lose an important ally. Some 2,000 Australians were killed or wounded on the 25th of April. It was a day of confusion and fear. One soldier later called it a day of sorrow as he remembered the dead and wounded. At ANZAC Cove, the Australians were the first to hit the sand. The New Zealanders followed later in the day. Together they advanced about a mile in some places, less than others, but they could go no further. For the next 8 months, the campaign was a stalemate. By December, the Anzacs were evacuated. By that point, about 8,700 Australians and almost 2,700 New Zealanders had been killed. They were some of at least 130,000 soldiers from both sides who lost their lives at Gallipoli. Anzac Day has been one of the most important dates on Australia and New Zealand's calendar since 1916. At first, it gave people a chance to honour the original Anzacs, the Australians and New Zealanders who fought on Gallipoli. Then it became a day for those who had served in the First World War. And with Australians experiencing the Second World War, and wars, conflicts, and peacekeeping operations that have followed, Anzac Day has become an occasion to honour all those who have worn our two countries' uniforms in service. Today, we reflect on that service. We recognise more than 100,000 Australian and New Zealand servicemen and women who have lost their lives in military operations carried out in our country's names. We honour the values that have been invested in the original Anzacs: loyalty, selflessness, courage, and the ways in which later generations have measured their own achievements against those of the soldiers who fought at Gallipoli. If this was a real-life service, we would lay wreaths of flowers at the base of flagpoles and other memorial sites, but because we don't have those in-game, we will move on. I will now recite the Ode of Remembrance, a poem written to commemorate those who had passed and given the ultimate sacrifice. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget. Everyone dismissed.
Lest we forget.
Lest
Kill
we
Hot
forget.
Shot! Kill Hot Shot!
Thanks heaps,
Kill Hot Shot!
Kill
Chase him! Chase him! Chase him!
That's alright,
Chase him.
Alex. It's
Shut
it's a tradition, isn't it?
Sorry, I'm double up, man. I'm speaking to squad too.
Come here, man.
You want to